What should OFWs expect when working abroad? Hi. Welcome to our channel. When you already have a definite schedule to travel to another country for work, it's not only your family that you need to prepare for the big change. More importantly, you have to prepare yourself and set expectations as to what could and what will happen when you're already working overseas. Here are some guidelines and tips on what should you expect when you're working abroad for the first time. Adjusting to cultural gaps. Do not expect to experience the same things you encounter in the Philippines when you work overseas. You will be in a totally different setting that has its own culture and way of life. Be on the lookout for things people do differently in your new environment and adjust to them. It is incumbent upon you to adapt to their culture rather than the other way around. Understand that most of their actions are a result of their culture. You are the foreigner in their native country. Language difference will be the first hurdle you will have to cope with. The local language is their native tongue and they prefer no other. Even if they speak to you in a third language you may both know, like English, remember they are exerting an effort to communicate with you and they are inconvenienced. Strive to learn their language for a more effective communication and build better relationships with your peers and the local folks in general. Customs and religion are the other areas of sensitivity you need to be particular about. Keep an open mind about other people's religious practices and traditions. They are sacred, especially in countries where there are state religions like Muslim countries and in countries with highly monarchical systems. Ignorance of the local religious laws and practices does not excuse you from disregarding them. You may be in for a lot of serious trouble. Even in countries with a high degree of religious freedom like the United States, disrespecting others' religious preferences can be a serious offense. Understanding, empathy and adapting to native culture is the key to a smooth transition in working abroad. Language barrier. Have a systematic plan to be able to learn the local language to the level necessary to have a productive interaction and healthy relationships. Set achievable targets. For example, you may target to learn all common greeting expressions in the first 2 weeks. From there, you may learn the alphabet and numbers the next week. Then, learn the useful terms in your workplace the following week, and so on until you are able to carry out a simple conversation with a colleague. Review and practice speaking what you have learned earlier, as you go to the next stage. That way, you will effectively remember the words and use them at the proper opportunity. The internet can be your best source of information on the language. There are many free programs and websites that teach foreign languages. You can request a friend or colleague to be your conversation partner when you want to practice what you have learned. When English is the business language in a multilingual country, always speak in English, even when you talk to a Filipino contact in your workplace. Some people tend to be offended or suspicious when they hear fellow countrymen like Filipinos speak in Tagalog or any Filipino local language in the office. Different work environment. Organizations, like countries, have unique cultures. These cultures define the work environment. You need to adapt to the work environment as you adjust to the country's culture. It is good to familiarize yourself with the organization's vision and mission to understand how it operates its business. Employees' actions are generally expected to be in accordance with the company's directions as outlined in its philosophy statements. The company's rules and regulations are likewise a product of the corporate culture. You may find how the organization values time more than it is valued in your workplace in the Philippines. The Filipino time, which is characterized as late most of the time, may not be tolerable. In the West and in countries like Japan, people respect and value time very seriously. You will not be excused for being late in appointments. Their time consciousness is applied in all aspects of their daily activities. Even the metro trains and speed trains arrive and go exactly as scheduled. Being late is considered a breach of commitment. Language barrier will be most evident in the workplace. Your communication will be severely impaired when your understanding of instructions are not perfect. It can result to serious consequences. Strive to learn the locals' language. There are countries where you have to observe strict religious rules, such as in Saudi Arabia, a Muslim country. These include prohibition on eating or drinking during Ramadan and illegal partner relationship and wearing of proper attire. During Ramadan, the 9th month of the Muslim calendar, Muslims are required to fast from sunrise to sundown. Expats living in Saudi Arabia are likewise urged to respect Muslim sentiments by not eating, drinking and smoking in public places, including workplaces and roads during fasting hours. A foreigner man and a woman who are not legal spouses seen together are apprehended. So are women wearing skimpy clothes. Anyone caught breaking the rules could have their visas cancelled and be deported. Review and understand your work descriptions and be sure you are able to perform all that is expected of you. You may find some colleagues less accommodating and cooperative while being more unforgiving of your mistakes. They may not be willing to walk the extra mile for you. Learn to be able to perform your job independently while building relationships to try to gain their support and help when you need them. The payroll in most countries overseas is monthly, not semi-monthly. This may pose a problem to you when you run out of money and nobody is willing to lend you and you neither have friends nor relatives to turn to. Build relationships so you can work more effectively with others, especially when you are a supervisor or manager. Establish influence with other people by developing their trust in you. You can gain their trust when you demonstrate integrity in the way you work and deal with them. Tips on how to properly adjust when working abroad. Do a research about the company culture. Study the company profile published on its website. Ask colleagues their insights about the company. Observe how employees work. Learn from your personal experience. Live by the corporate vision and mission and culture. They are the underlying philosophies guiding the organization. Likewise, comply with all the company rules. Respect time as you respect people. Report to work on time. Be on meetings and activities on time. Avoid extended breaks and downtime. Be productive throughout your work shift and avoid any personal business. Knock off from work on time. Render overtime when necessary. You cannot go wrong doing what is right. Understand and respect people's religious practices and customs even in the workplace. Learn to speak the local language for a more effective communication and to foster understanding and relationship. Practice, practice, practice speaking. Share in discussions and contribute to group activities. Make yourself belong and be an active participant. Know your colleagues' interests. Join them for lunches and dinners, outings and fun activities like sports, watching concerts and karaoke. Extend support to colleagues when they need it. They will return you the favor some other time. Always be objective and positive. Avoid unnecessary arguments. Smile. It is the international language of friendship and goodwill. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel, like and share the video. Click the notification button to get notifications for future uploads. Join us on Facebook, Instagram and other social media. Links in the description box below. Salamat.